We were just talking, Congressman, in the last segment, opening up the program today, about Joe Biden just kind of randomly deciding to target so-called junk fees. That's his solution to combating inflation. It just seems like either dropping money out of helicopters with all these giveaways or instituting price controls and interfering in the private sector seems to be the approach of the Democrats here. How do we get government the heck out of the way?
Listen, this guy, should I lean in and whisper to make this more effective when I talk like he does? I don't think so. But, I was listening yesterday when he started talking about, and I had to turn it off because it just makes me so angry. But he's talking about the fees for overdraft fees.
Right.
And he's saying if you call your bank and check your balance, regardless that you've written checks today, you should know that those are going to clear. So if it's the bank's responsibility. Man, this guy they do not understand basic laws of economics. They don't understand what's causing inflation, and everything they do only makes it worse, and we're paying the price.
Indeed, I agree. So do you feel like, I'll just tell you, full disclosure, I do, before I tell you this, but what can we do to get the President of the United States just to go before the nation and the world to say, look, I'm calling off the dogs on the fossil fuels industry. I'm calling on our industry, the domestic fossil fuels industry, to go drill. We're going to issue these permits to go explore and produce oil and produce more fuel. That's the way to target and truly abate inflation. He won't do it,
no,
though.
He caused this, and he's not going to do that. He is so indebted to the left, to the AOCs and being green and all those things. He intentionally tanked our oil and gas market. He's intentionally trying to put them out of business. He's intentionally trying to, and they don't understand electricity. The majority of it doesn't come from solar and wind. It comes from fossil fuels and nuclear. But he's intentionally just tanked this market. Now he's wanting to buy from the Saudis, turned him down, Venezuela, Iran. He doesn't care where. He's just, listen, these guys do not understand basic economics. They don't understand what they're doing. All they want to do is make us all be the same and all have equal results. Listen, equality is not equal results. Equality is equal opportunity. But they want equal results.
Yeah, absolutely. Amen. So, all right, let's say then, sir, that the Republicans are successful and they're able to take over the House. And I think it's looking better that we may take control of the Senate, but we still got the third leg there in the lawmaking process, that being the executive branch. What can we get done?
If we get the House and the Senate both, about all we can do is stop some of these crazy appointments he's doing on the Senate side.
Yeah.
And then on the House side, we can pass stuff that at least makes some sense with the threat of a veto, but we can at least challenge every one of these stupid executive orders. I mean, he's a lot like Fetterman. Listen, the guy doesn't want to be on TV unless he's got a teleprompter because you cannot trust them. The other people are running the show. I don't know who they are, but listen, I don't have to have a teleprompter. I don't have one right now telling me what to say or what to do. And all we can do is put the brakes on it and maybe get some investigations into some of the corruption that these guys are doing.
Yeah. What do you think about Kevin McCarthy, Congressman? Do you feel like he's kind of the shoe-in to be the Speaker of the House if the Republicans take control?
Listen, that stuff that's politics worse than the Mississippi Army National Guard or the Mississippi Highway Patrol. That's like high-level politics. I like Kevin. He's a friend. I think he's the right guy. Yeah. But if you want me to prognosticate whether or not that's going to be an easy go, I can't tell you that. Listen, when you get in those internal politics of those things, you're going to have people come in and stuff comes up. But Kevin's a strong leader. He's got a great plan and his commitment to America. He's worked really hard to get us the majority, and I hope he'll be rewarded for his hard work and his good plan.
Yeah. How do you feel about the commitment to America? I've read that. I'm quite sure you have as well. Do you feel like it's a pretty good plan?
No, it's a great plan. Listen, Newt Gingrich was with us when we rolled it out. He said, you guys put a lot more, and he actually helped us work on it. But it not only addresses what the issues are, It gives us ways that we can make those issues get better. I think it's a great plan. It was not just Kevin McCarthy and Newt Gingrich. We had working groups throughout Congress, of which I was a part of several. Michael Guest and Stephen Palazzo were part of those. And listen, it is a plan to get us back on track. But the main thing we got to do is this president, oh my goodness, we have got, this guy does not get basic mathematics.
Totally agree. So speaking of that, we've got this out-of-control deficits, which the president's bragging about reducing after he's the one that boosted them significantly with this ridiculous reckless spending. So he just doesn't repeat that in year two and then takes a victory lap, which is so disingenuous. But we got this debt, and Kevin McCarthy, should he rise to be the speaker, he's actually said we're going to have a hard look at just this kind of rubber stamp raising of the debt ceiling and passing these continuing resolutions. And, of course, the left is saying they're going to shut down your Social Security and your Medicare, which is not the truth. We got to stop and have a serious conversation about this reckless spending and this out-of-control debt, do we not, sir?
We do, and I think one of the things we've got to do is, we always talk about the discretionary spending, which is only about a third or less of all the spending. We've got to get all these things off autopilot, all this mandatory spending. We need to take it out of mandatory spending. We need to, each year, people have to justify what they spend. We do well what we measure. And right now, all that mandatory spending, which is over 2/3 of the budget, we're not measuring that at all, which means it's just we're funding programs that aren't even there. And these administrative agencies that just keep getting larger and larger. And listen, they answer to no one. And so we need elected officials answering, not some administrative agency, some appointee who has never been on a ballot.
No doubt about it. I totally agree, and we've explained that as well on the program. Thank you for pointing that out, clarifying that. And so Leader McCarthy and other Republicans have simply said, even on the Senate side, Ron Johnson, Rick Scott, Florida, have said, yeah, we got to take a hard look at this. It doesn't mean we want to kill the programs. In fact, we want to preserve them and make sure they're there. They're not really solvent, technically, at this point. And the left comes out and says, oh, you want to cut and get rid of Social Security and Medicare? No, we're trying to preserve it. Why can't we just have a meaningful and frank, truthful debate about that?
Well, they're the party of lies. First of all, everything that has been done good for Social Security and Medicare has been done by Republicans. It has not been done by Democrats. They are the ones who want to cut it. But it's just like they're now trying to say we're the ones who said defund the police. Listen, we weren't the ones having riots in the street. We weren't the ones burning Portland. But these guys try to turn everything. They just say whatever they can to get elected, and they keep lying.
Yeah. On a personal basis, Congressman, do you have some immediate plans or priorities should the Republicans flip the House that you're going to pursue?
Well, first of all, I'm on intel. So on the counter-intel side of the FBI, we're going to get into some of their upper level. Listen, our men and women in the FBI at the lower levels are great people. They're great men and women who serve this country. But the upper levels, they are crooked and corrupt, and we're going to go after those. We're going to get some oversight on those guys, and they're not going to just investigate Republicans. I am so sick of their corruptness. We can't even get the report on the baseball shooting that happened in 2017, of which I was a part of, because it's an ongoing investigation. You tell me how an investigation where the guy's dead, there is no investigation. They killed that son of a gun that day, and we still can't see the report because it's more of their cover-up. So we're going to do a whole lot of oversight is what I'm looking to do.
Good. It's such a ridiculous double standard. I think people are tired of it. I know I am. I'm sure your constituents are as well.
Oh, they absolutely are. We've been throughout. And listen, I'll tell you what they're most sick of right now, though, is the high gas prices, the high grocery prices. Their wages are going down. And listen, every family in America is paying $6,000 to $8,000 a year more. This is just a redistribution of wealth by Joe Biden, and it's intentional.
So his plan is, let me go cut some junk fees. That's just ridiculous. Congressman, thank you so much for joining us, sir, and good luck Tuesday next.